It's your dude, old boy Kong, man, in the moment network with y'all want to introduce yourselves?
Yo, what's
The
up
belief
with the belief cycle?
cycle. Yeah, I was trying to do the thing where we
Oh yeah,
say,
we're trying to time it.
I'm Drew,
I'm Ryan, and
and
we're
we're
the
the belief cycle.
What's up, man?
Not much.
How you doing?
Good, man. Just been hustling music, making tracks.
That's what's up, man. So your name is Ryan Marquez, is that right?
That's right.
That's dope, man. Yeah, I saw you on the flyer for the event on March 31st at the Record Bar.
Yeah.
Hey, you guys got a super dope look, man.
Hey, man. You know, we just try to have a good time and appreciate that, man. Drew and I, yeah, we like to do the matching jackets thing.
That's what's up, man. How long you guys been at it?
Well, we've been friends probably, for 15, 16 years now. And so pretty much since we met each other, we started writing songs, making tracks together. So we've been at it as writers and friends for probably, almost working on 2 decades. And then as the belief cycle, we've been working on that project and brand for probably about 5 years now.
Oh, dang. And you guys met in Kansas City or?
Oh, we actually met in St. Louis. So I'm originally from Kansas City, but then moved to St. Louis to go to college. And Drew and I both went to a college called Webster University.
Okay.
And then, we became like instant best friends. And we both have KC roots, though, because he also lived in Kansas City. So
that's what's up. Yeah, I was just texting Matt Pierce, engineer over at Phoenix Music.
Matt Phoenix, and that's my boy.
Yeah, Matt Phoenix. Yep, Matt Phoenix. Yeah, but he told me he's like he knew you since like kindergarten. When I told him I was going to interview you.
Yeah, man, we've been friends since kindergarten.
Dude, what is going on in you guys' school district, man? It seems like nothing but talented people out there, man. Like just musical cats are coming out of that circle over there, man.
Yeah, man, straight up. Like you already know, Kansas City is in the confluence of the Cool right off the Missouri River. And thankfully, the energy of the school that Matt and I went to, it was a performing arts and science and math magnet school. It was one of the last few ones before the district lost its accreditation. That was.
Dude, I did not know. He never told me about that. That's crazy.
Yeah, it was in Northeast Kansas City. I mean, the school's still there, but it's not it's not like a magnet school anymore.
That's crazy, man. So, with the belief cycle, man, how'd y'all come up with that, or what's the meaning behind that, man?
Well, the belief cycle is an idea that is tangible in the sense that, when you are looking for some motivation or to accomplish a goal or to have self-empowerment, really it starts with a belief. And that belief can lead to an action. And so then when you do that action, you experience success. Even if you fail, if you keep going, you experience some success. So then once you experience that success, you acquire more belief inside of yourself to keep going. So thus you have rotated around the belief cycle, so it's just this idea that like if you continuously invest belief and then back that belief up through action, then you'll continuously be in the belief cycle and can, manifest whatever it is you're trying to accomplish.
That's dope, man. That's dope. Like every time somebody says you guys' name, it's like it sparks that conversation and you're putting that into the universe, man. That's a cold
Absolutely.
that's a cold concept right there. So what were some musical influences coming up, man? Or who were some artists you love, man?
Well, personally, like artists that I love, you know, it's pretty wide flavor. Growing up in Kansas City, it's like that's jazz capital of the world. One of the
sure.
main ones. And so, I loved jazz music from early on. I loved gospel music early on. I listened to a lot of Ray Charles and Stevie Wonder and, B.B. King, and grew up, listening to a lot of Motown and, a lot of classic soul. And then, went through rock phase, jam phase, Jimi Hendrix, Dave Matthews Band, John Mayer, Ben Folds. That was like kind of all, kind of maybe the life stuff. But then music, being a student of music, that really put me on a little bit stricter diet of listening to, jazz, reggae, blues, world music, Latin music, coming from a Latin background. I just love really all kinds of music. I'd say, like, in terms of the belief cycle sound, Drew and I have shared mutual interests in a variety of sounds and artists, but artists that I know we both dig on, people like Robert Glasper or Justin Timberlake, Michael Jackson, Quincy Jones, Maroon 5, John Mayer. There's like an element of maybe like Chromeo or Jamiroquai or Daft Punk kind of in what we do.
I could totally see the Daft Punk vibes in there for sure.
Hey, yeah, thanks, man. Those dudes are legends, and being a duo, production team.
Yeah.
That's, we get that. But we love, obviously, if you listen to our music, it's like a lot of house, a lot of pop, a lot of kind of like dance vibes.
Yeah, I was getting like a retro wave vibe on it, and it was like, I love it, man. I couldn't put my finger on how would you classify that, or I wouldn't even want to put you in a box like that. But how would you describe your sound to somebody who hasn't heard it?
Yeah, that's a good question. I always think it's like it's feel good music. Drew's studio is called Feel Good Music Recordings.
Nice.
So we just try to make music that makes you feel good.
Yeah.
And, the sounds in terms of like genre, we're kind of in the pop EDM, house vibes, electronic sounding, synthy keys.
I love the synths, man. Like, and I love that you guys Drew has his Feel Good studio, because, man, that's exactly what I felt when I first heard, like, when I looked you guys up, and as soon as y'all came on, started jamming, I was like, oh yeah, these dudes are dope, man. Like, I can't wait to see these cats live, man. So I had to reach out. I reached out right after I watched the first like performance video you guys had on YouTube. That was dope, man.
Hey, man, I appreciate that. That's what's up. And likewise, man, I really like the track that I heard you with Flair, the Rebel.
Oh yeah, appreciate it, man.
Yeah, man, you smashed it on that, and that's like
appreciate it, brother.
Jeff's like that. That's like Jeff and Matt and Bob. Those are my brothers, like, truly, man. We're like as close to blood brothers as you can be without being of the same.
Man, dude, they're like me and Matt's really close, man, just because I used to do recording sessions with him out when he was out in Chapman. So we got to the point where I would just book sessions just to hang out with him, and we would just be talking and drinking beer. That's just what we did,
Yeah, but, man.
Throughout the years, I've got to meet Bob. I got to meet Jeff, man. And, man, getting on a record with Jeff was kind of intimidating, man. Like, he always tried to reach out to me to get on a song, but I was like, I'll see you, man. But because I knew lyrically, man, that guy is like, man, he is a rhymer. Like, he is really like, he's an MC to the T, man. And yeah, he's a scary guy to get on the track with, man. But yo, I'm curious what you guys' creative process is like, man. Like, two, you guys like, do you come with an idea and send it over to Drew, or how does that work? You guys in the same room and just I don't know, like, what's that look like? And are you
Yeah,
writing it, or are you like improvising, or
yeah, it's like, we've have a lot of different strategies really for writing music, but I think like lately what we've been on is, being in the same space, like co-collaborative space, there's been
man?
times definitely where, maybe one of us will be a little bit dominant on the idea or take an idea that we worked on together in a co-creative space, and then maybe Drew will flesh the lyrics out or
Mm,
come up with something for it lyrically. But I would say like kind of, in terms of writing music, there's no really one exact like, oh, this is the method. We always do this. Like
mhm,
the
for
one thing
sure.
we always do though is we always stack beats. Like every time we're together, we're just like, yo, let's make a beat real quick. Like let's
That's
just we
tight.
can write a song, and with these like 15 minutes we got or whatever,
Mm,
and then we stack like a huge library full of those ideas, and then go back at a later date and be like, yo, like this one right here, man, this one should be a song, like let's put
that's
that in the
tight.
song file, you know
That's hella dope. So,
yeah.
but with two creative minds like that, man, like two strong creative minds in one room, man, did you guys go through like growing pains of like clashing creatively and just kind of like, especially with music, man, sometimes a little ego comes along with it. I hate to say it, but
A little ego, man. It's like you put two creative people in the room, man, it's all ego, you
it's
know
crazy, isn't it?
for real. But like thankfully, Drew and I have been through a lot together, personally and musically. So we've had a lot of chance to really like work out a lot of the communication skills necessary to get past moments where, our egos have or could potentially get in the way. Like we definitely have butted heads or had disagreements about, specifics or general ideas or concepts through the years of knowing each other, you know.
Yeah,
But I think the one thing that's like really made it cohesive is just the fact that we're like, family, and that when it comes down to it, the music is what it is, but it's like we've been through so much together on a personal level and seen each other through so much stuff that it's just like, yo, man, we're gonna figure this out. Like, we might have to talk about it, or like we might have to, cool off and wait till the situation's right. But we're like we have good communication skills now, to the point where if there is a little tension or if there is like a little friction towards something, we're both invested in the music and the goal of getting the best results, so we can kind of be like, okay, you're like, all right, I see what you're saying, you
mm,
hear what I'm saying, we're trying to get the best result. It's not you versus me, it's like us versus, I guess like us versus ourselves or us versus the world.
yeah, for sure. So, like, is there that's a beautiful thing, by the way, man. I'm glad to hear that, brother. Because,
Oh, thanks,
man,
man.
I don't
Yeah.
I've lost count of how many people we got into like intertwined with, and it just fell out completely because we weren't mature enough to have that level of communication. You know what I mean? Or be aware of what was going on, ego wise. You know?
Yeah, straight up, man. Like I've been in bands that got tore apart, because people were trying to put all their creative ideas into the group, and they didn't have outlets, and the communication skills weren't good, and
Mm,
one thing escalates into another, and next thing you're standing between two friends, like, yo, guys, chill out, like it ain't
yeah,
serious,
for
you know.
sure. So,
But
have you guys tried? I'm sorry.
oh,
Go
I
ahead.
was just gonna say, I think I just saw a message pop up.
Oh, okay. Hold
Drew
on.
may be trying to get
Okay,
in.
cool. Drew's on. Cool, cool, cool. Add him to the stream. Yo,
Yo,
what's
there we
going
go.
on,
Thanks
Drew?
for having me.
What up,
Having
man?
us. Sorry, I got OCD about the sound for a minute. I was like, because I'm at my
Okay,
studio and I was trying to like plug in with like a nice mic and all this shit, and I was like,
I can hear
whatever.
it.
Well, no, I just ended up using the laptop, but
Really? Oh, okay. That sounds
yeah.
good though.
So shout out the 2015 MacBook Pro built-in
Hey,
microphone, I guess.
Nice.
They've been listening to us forever, bro.
I've been listening to you for a few minutes, and it's really
I thought I saw the guest
beautiful
thing.
spot. This is really nice.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
that's.
In here.
Okay, my bad. I was taking the chat. Yeah, man. I saw the one guest thing, but I thought it was just because Ryan was on with me. But yeah, I'm new to this too, man. My name is Old Boy, by the way, man. I'm from FoSho Entertainment out in that Kansas City area.
Awesome.
I was just telling Ryan that me and Matt Peters, Matt Phoenix is really good friends, and yeah, he was telling me about how he grew up with Ryan since kindergarten.
Oh yeah, awesome.
Yeah.
I spent some time in KC myself, being originally from St. Louis, but I moved to Kansas City for a couple years. I was kind of I've been like super loosely connected to UBI for a long time. For example, because in like 2010, 2011, part of 2012, I was living in Kansas City, and I was already doing producing and engineering, and I was like, I want to get out of the home studio a little more and get into the studio scene. And I was like, I'll intern, even though I already had like years of experience. And I went to Chapman Recording. I don't know if you remember that spot.
Yeah. That's how I met Matt. Yeah.
There you go. So I interned at Chapman when that was still when like Strange and Tech were there all day, every day. And like before they built their Strangeland studio, they were at Chapman for like almost 10 year they would just book out like one of the rooms like 50 hours a week and just block it out. But whatever, that's when like I made a friend of their engineer, Ben Cebulski, the Studio A guy at Strangeland. I don't know if you ever met him, but
I've heard of him though. I think he called Matt to get the job up there.
Yeah, so he's he's super dope, and he let me hang out and gave me some tips and stuff, and like I met UBI like way back then, and just like saw him here and there throughout the years, and then I was working with these dudes, the Palmer Squares. Have you ever heard those guys?
Oh no,
Chicago Cats. They've done a few tours with UBI and a lot of the Strange or now ex-Strange guys. Like they did a tour that was like them with Mayday, UBI, like Stevie Stone and JL, and fucking Joey Cool was on there too. It was all Strange Cats and plus Palmer Squares. So then I started running into these Strange guys like through that connection, and and then UBI's homies with the old, I'd say I've known him for quite a bit now, and Ryan grew up with him, Jeff Flair. So this is how we end up here, and we're all tying together now. Matt and Chapman, and
it's a Midwest takeover, baby. You know what I'm saying?
For sure, man. That's what's up, man. So, man, what was I saying? I just lost my track of thought, man.
My bad. I took over your show.
Nah, you're good, man. I was wondering, like, if you guys ever tried expanding to other members, since you guys, you know what I mean, or duo. Have you guys thought about expanding, or what was some of the issues with that?
So like if you got more people, that's more mouths to feed. That's issue number one.
Sure.
You know, right? Sure. And then number two, it's like if we're ever in a need where we do need to put a band together, like we because of like our vantage point or whatever in the scene, you've got a whole slew of people that can plug right into supporting what we might want to do in a live situation. And we have also done that.
We have played as a band. Like our last show, we played with us plus a drummer. We had like a 6-piece at one point. So I think the strength of the duo is like it's expandable. We have a duo show where we do looping stuff and backing track stuff, and it can expand out to us plus a drummer, or as much as like we did one thing that was like drums, bass, guitar, him on keys, me on vocals and percussion. Like, so I think it's a good balance of only having a small number of official members. And then, like you said, we know hundreds of musicians we can slot in as the other players whenever we need. So it's like when we got the bread to feed, like you said, to feed more mouths, and it's just like, or it's a big opportunity where we want to bring like some extra bang to it. But I don't know, some people I like seem to respond the most to our little duo thing, because we'll do like, you'll see like we loop the beats from scratch and stuff like that, and people get into that sort of thing, like the live looping or whatever. So
I'm amazed at how conscious you guys are, man. Like, I'm curious, like how young you guys were when you guys like started the group. Oh, wait, it's just 5 years ago, right?
Well, yeah, but it's one of those things where we were playing together, making records together. It was regrettably titled Drew Mantia Band, but
hey, I like the Drew Mantia Band, bro. I don't know why
that sounds tight. It's got a catch. I got a ring to it.
It was one of those. I wanted it to be like what the Belief Cycle is. Like, I wanted it to be a band, but that's just like the level of investment was me times hundreds, and then my homies that worked with me. And Ryan would have been like in the top 3 or top 2 collaborators of that project. And that was like, we first played on that level, like, if not the first year we met in 2005, then 2006 for sure was the first time that we recorded at that basement studio, and he played on some tracks. So from like 2005 to 2009, we had the Drew Mantia Band thing going, and sometimes it was going pretty good. And Ryan was like my closest collaborative writer on that. And then it was like, I moved to KC and then to Chicago until 2019, and I was getting way more into engineering and producing and just like honing my craft on other people's records. And then the Belief Cycle started, to Ryan's credit, which was like so I went on to, after the Drew Mantia Band, I think it was like 6 years, I put down being a vocalist like almost completely. And I was just in the studio producing a lot of hip hop, producing some pop and some R&B. Like lately I've been more into producing R&B. But anyway, like in Chicago, I got there right when like Chance and fucking Chief Keef were popping off and Lil Durk and all that stuff. And I worked at this studio where they did a lot of drill rap, and like Chief Keef, Lil Durk, Dreezy.
What was that like, man? Was it intense or what, man, that environment? Because I know they get busy out there, man.
We smoked a lot of blunts and there was some guns floating around, but I was doing my more, I did some collabs with Chance, and I was working with more artists like that in the more hip hopier vein and not in the drill vein. But we had an A room and a B room, and in the middle we had a lounge, and we would share the lounge between the 2 studios. So it'd be like, I'd be doing my session, and then like I'm in there with like King Louis and or whoever, like Lil Durk. Like I smoked a bunch of blunts with Lil Durk, and then like I don't really follow that scene anymore. So it was like, in my mind, Lil Durk was some guy that I was like smoking blunts with at the studio in like 2013. And then one day it was like Drake featuring Lil Durk. I'm like, what the fuck? Because like to me, that was a big jump. But anyway, that was a whole tangent. During those, that's what I was doing for years, where I wasn't using my voice. I was a total tangent, but I kept to where I was. And Ryan would hit me up every year for those years, saying, 2-3 times a year, are you writing your song? I know you're in the studio. Are you writing your songs? Like, no, not really. I'm co-writing and producing other people. He's like, you got to be writing your songs, man. You should be writing your songs. And it was just
good shit, Ryan.
He was trying to keep me at it.
What I do, man.
So
plant seeds in water.
So like the finally we get to like maybe I wasn't down for as long. Maybe it was more like 4 years or something that I was off the vocals, because it was like the 2016 version was gotta do your songs, man. And I was like, you know what? Yeah, I do. Like, and I'll definitely do it if you'll help me. Like, will you help me? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, all right, then it's on. I'll send you some ideas. And I sent him like 3 demos, like in the next couple days.
That's tight.
Couple of
That's
which
so dope that you guys
still
don't have no
perform.
issues reaching out to each other like that, man. And just
Yeah.
because it's kind of a vulnerable space, man.
I mean, we're brothers now. We've been roommates. We do family events together, and
Yeah.
So it's yeah.
Yeah, we're definitely in the same family because Drew's brother-in-law is and our also best friend, who is now married to Drew's sister, and we all know each other since college. So we all grown up. Like Drew's mom used to cut my hair. I used to work with Drew's dad. You know what I'm saying? Like, it goes deeper than even just me and Drew. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, absolutely.
Cool.
Like, it's like all, it's like a family.
Yeah, we know each other's families and parents. He especially knows mine, just being in St. Louis, because his fam's in KC. But yeah, it's a family affair.
That's like some of the best bonds right there, man. Is the ones that go beyond the bloodline. But I mean, in-laws is pretty damn close too,
Yeah, for sure.
But man, what was that like as an engineer and watching everybody's projects? You bring everybody's projects to life, man, and just you sitting on the back burner. Like, what did that do to your psyche, man?
It at least, one of the many things I like about it is it does keep me sharp. So it's like, even when I was taking those years off of doing me, but I was, I'm doing like hip hop songs with rappers, and it's like not what the sound was for like when I use my own voice. Like, I'm a singer, I don't rap. It's like, but even working in that different.
You kind of rap.
I mean, I
like melodic rap.
Like sing melodically.
Don't let Drew fool you.
Rhythmic singing, I would call it. I would call it rhythmic singing. I would not call myself a rapper ever.
That sounds like rap nowadays, man. That's all
what I'm saying, man.
Well,
whole genre called melodic rap.
If we start using those kind of terms, then yeah, maybe I've rapped before. We're going to that level. But anyway, it was like
already there. We're not going there. We're already there.
Yeah. So I was during those times like honing and banking these skills that I was going to use later. Like the sound that is the Belief Cycle, that was really birthed. Like, we can really trace the lineage back to like, besides the like aforementioned Drew Mantia band stuff of like he and I and other people working together, we can really trace the lineage back to this single song. I did this. It came out in 2013. Is this song called LSD with Prob Cause and Chance the Rapper, and I had Ryan play some additional keyboards on it, and it was a good like underground hit. And it was just like dialed into. That's where like I tapped into the sound, and I was like, this is my and eventually our sound, like and it kind of, so then a bunch of my production grew from there. So it's like, basically, I like what has become the Belief Cycle. I grew into a point where like I was making this production for rappers, and now I just put my and our singing over it instead of like raps over it. Because I was working with some cool, like some particularly like the aforementioned Prob Cause, who I did one of the Chance collabs with, and a bunch of other like, we did a bunch of cool collabs with, we did a song with Twista, we did a song with Saba. I also did a song of my own with Saba. You know Saba?
I've heard of Saba.
Yeah, he's my favorite. Shout out Saba. But anyway, we did a bunch of stuff. But he was like, got into like a dance music hip hop combination.
You talking about Ryan?
This dude Prob Cause, but that came into like, so I'm just saying that's how it got to the point where I was basically making like Belief Cycle production for him to rap on, and then we just started making that with his collaboration and singing on it, and that's like
tight.
Yeah, so we've got like our dance beat songs and our more like feel good rap beat songs, and you know, just with our singing. So
That's what's up.
yeah.
So Ryan, man, I see you on the keys and stuff. Do you play any other instruments?
You know,
Either one of y'all?
I play organ. I've had a lot of experience, like touching a lot of different instruments. Like I, grew up playing bass. Like bass was like, for a season, I thought I was going to be a bass player more than I was wanted to be a keyboard player. And keyboard bass is something that I do on the reg here in St. Louis in the community. So I count that as kind of like one of my main instruments. And then it's like, if you put it in my hand, I'll play it or figure it out or make some kind of sound that could be contributed towards the music positively. But for the most part, I stick to the keyboard instruments. And I also played saxophone and cello and stuff like in grade school and middle school.
Yeah, we're trying to bring the sax back.
Yeah, I'm gonna bring the sax back.
Get a few licks here and there.
Yeah,
man, how do y'all feel about artists that don't play an instrument? I don't play nothing, man. I'm just curious because you guys are like the superheroes of the music world, man. Y'all play everything.
Man,
it's just a gift, to be able to play music. But you can play music too, man. Anybody artists who don't play music, it's just like a language. Just submerge yourself in the culture of understanding. Even if you just start with vernacular, then work towards the technical aspect of an instrument. But I don't really feel like it entitles us to any sort of vantage point or anything like that.
Yeah.
Certainly plenty of artists who maybe can't play a piano or create the instrumental for themselves that are way more technically successful in terms of finances and notoriety than Drew and I are, with the college education that we've got or not got. But basically, it's like it's all love when it comes to art. You know what I'm saying? It's supposed to be, and every single person is an artist, and every single person is a musician, poet, a dancer, all of the above. Really, it's just the only defining factor in terms of output or in terms of like quality, if you will, is just how much discipline and practice like you've had in whatever direction that you're interested. And we're all interested in multiple disciplines and multiple mediums, multiple ideas. So it's just, as you grow as an artist, or as any artist might grow, just like grow into whatever you want to know. Like if you want to know more stuff about piano, and start asking piano players questions, start looking up YouTube stuff about piano, like take a class at a local community college on piano. I mean, just walk in direction, play a piano every day. Like that's direction one,
He touched on what I would want to say about that, which is what the definition of artist is. Like, I actually have a pretty wide definition of like what artist is. I don't think artistry is necessarily limited to the skill that you developed. The skills that you develop, it's about the passion that you put into it. Like, so it's like, if your means of creating music is like get a beat from a producer and put your vocals on it, it's like, if you do that with heart and soul, that's no less valid than if I played drums, bass, guitar, keys, and vocals on a track. It's just like that person might make a better song. It's like, so yeah, I think artistry is about what you put into it. Like, I also think you don't even need, it doesn't have to be art as in music or painting or something. It's like, if you work like a retail job, but you actually like are able to like put heart and soul into like the experience that people get when they talk to you at the counter, when you give them help or whatever, it's like you can be an artist at retail.
Yeah,
like
an art form. It's an art form. Yeah, it becomes one. Yeah,
the art form. If your art is creating experiences for people.
Mm.
So it's like however you do that, if you fucking type some shit in and it like synthesizes your voice and whatever, it's like, if that, whatever you do, if it creates an experience and an emotion in people, then, I don't think you're any lesser than people like us who have been playing, working on our instrumental craft for like 20, 30 years, I think in his case.
Yeah.
So,
and you can't deny the live band is just, you're not gonna the whole live set, you're not gonna compete with that, man. That's just a whole nother
yeah,
field,
sure.
man.
I do. Sure.
Well, that's not 100% true, because it's like,
Yeah.
you see people coming out doing track shows and they got thousands of people at their show. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely people out there playing tracks and doing vocals that I'd rather see than a live band. Yeah, I've seen some DJs that I'd rather see fucking play records than like some live bands, and of course vice versa. So I mean, yeah,
I don't know if I go that far, but
a couple. I mean,
you just shitted on a whole bunch of people.
If you know and like their songs already,
yeah,
then that's like.
That's what I'm saying.
K-Tronado live.
I'm biased because I play music, so I'm naturally gonna like music that's created by.
No, but I mean, listen, 8 times out of 10, yeah, I think like a fuller band show is gonna be dope, or like some sort of hook. Like
8 times out of 10, people want to hear what they know. That's it. It don't matter if you play on.
You're right.
That's
the times now.
11 times.
They just want to make sure they know that.
Yeah, for sure. So have you guys ever toured, or like a structured tour, or just guys kind of random shows?
A little bit. We did. We've done some. We were jumping back and forth between St. Louis and Chicago, and then we did some stuff around the Midwest, doing like So Far Sounds.
Okay, yeah, So Far Sounds dope.
And yeah, that was super dope. So we did a bunch of stuff around the Midwest, but mostly like we're trying to really make like the St. Louis, Kansas City, Chicago thing.
Yeah,
I mean, we both toured with other acts and everything, but yeah, we're still getting that off the ground for us. I mean, we actually had some momentum going, and then the 2020 happened and everything got canceled. Like we had like a the Corona-sance. Yeah. We got Corona-sance.
Corona-sance. Yo, so how has that, obviously you guys weren't able to tour no more, but has that affected your creative process or your goals and, the things that you guys wanted to do with the Belief Cycle? Like, what changes have you guys had to make since then? Or, has that shifted your goals and,
I mean, I would say, or go ahead.
Yeah, I got this one. I think truly, the Corona-sance was good for the Belief Cycle because it gave us space to really center in and focus on writing music and, developing our voice and developing our sound and coming up with our brand. And I feel like, where a lot of maybe people could easily say that the Corona-sance was a negative thing, and in a lot of ways it really was. But the positive thing for artists was it gave a whole bunch of space to work on music. So I know that in the interim of the world shutting down, we were busy in the lab with the pen and the pad, making tracks. And I know Drew was making tracks of his own, and I was, making 4 or 5 tracks a day, writing songs from scratch, taking the time to really just probably in 2020, I probably wrote 100 and something songs currently in production with, more coming down the pipe. So in the Belief Cycle land, like I was saying earlier, it's we just stack ideas really, and then, keep stacking ideas, and then the ones that kind of float to the mutual taste of both of us, then we usually will act on that, materialize that into a full song. So it's like, you know, the Corona Science, marketing or like touring and stuff like that. Maybe, you know, we had some momentum or whatever. We're gonna do some college shows or whatever. But it's like colleges aren't going away. The opportunity to travel is probably going to be more abundant. I would hope so in the next, you know, couple months to the next year. Hopefully, the world continues to move in a direction where we're able to do that more freely. But I would say, like, in general, like even though like the whole bank account got wiped out, you know what I'm saying? Like all the gigs got wiped out, all the
Everybody,
tours that
man,
were
everybody
lined up got wiped out. Like it had to do a bunch of red tape stuff, like, you know, to make it work. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But other than that, creatively, for at least for me, and probably Drew too, like would say this, but like,
well, it did also force a good shift. This is something we were working on before the pandemic, but it gave us, as he put it, more space, which is like sync licensing. So we've been getting TV placements with our song.
Yeah, I just saw one of them posts you guys Lynn went back in last week?
Yeah, like, or we found out about some because like the really small, there's like small ones that they don't even notify you about until it's like you just find it on like your ASCAP.
That's crazy how that works, man.
Yeah, and then, you know, the bigger ones, like they tell you in advance so you can kind of promote it and tell your people to watch it and stuff. So yeah, but it's like that was something I think we may have gotten there faster just because we had the extra time, and we kind of, you know, especially in like 21, because in 2020 we started, like, we released several singles that year, but then like in 21 we focused more on the writing, like he said, but we were kind of looking at the sync licensing as the outlet for the songs at the moment more than like public release. And now with like this show on the horizon and some more stuff coming down the pipeline, and with, you know, fingers crossed or knock on wood and whatever, that the pandemic seems to be really letting up. You know, now we're putting some focus back on getting those songs out to the public for people to hear. So yeah, it was a good time to just like get in the woodshed and make stuff happen in the backgrounds, where now, you know, we're kind of, I almost feel like we're kind of basically, I'm treated like, when we're thinking about how we're about to start getting the word out for the show and this new music and stuff, I'm basically like, my mindset is taking it from the straight beginning, like as if we just launched a new band and we just happen to have the benefit of already having some. I basically see like these years that we tried this as like the trial run where we got to learn and experiment, and now we're about to start a new venture, knowing, you know, kind of who it's for and what the lanes are and all that stuff. So
yeah,
I feel like, yeah, definitely a rebirth kind of vibe has been going on with me in general. You know, I just been also, I kind of dubbed, you know, this year kind of, I try and give like kind of themes to go like, and goals for like the years. And I decided this year is about a return to fundamentals in everything that I do. So it's just like getting the basics down on everything. My singing, my guitar playing, my songwriting, whatever the belief cycle's doing, all this stuff. I'm just like, where am I not getting the absolute fundamentals, the basics right? Let's, you know, let's get that right before I worry about the fancy shit for a while.
Yeah. No, you guys definitely stood out on the flyer joints, man. And when I seen them suits, man, it kind of threw me off guard. I was like, yo, what the hell? And then when I watched you guys' video, man, I was just telling Ryan earlier.
We just
that
did
feel good, man. It just grabs you. It's like, yo, these dudes, they're it, man.
That's what I call my studio, Feel Good Music.
Yeah, he was just saying that, man.
That's
so
what
I was
we do
like,
there.
Man,
do here.
So are there any like dream tours, man, or who do you see you guys touring with? Who could you imagine that being with? What are some
Well,
artists you would to it?
That's
I think like it's like in my world when I'm dreaming, I don't like to define expectations because I think that puts a limit on what's possible.
So true,
You know?
so true.
Oh damn! I thought he was about to have a detailed answer because he's like the big dreamer. I'm like, I kind of like.
What makes you think my answer's not detailed? I was just.
Oh, I mean, I wasn't cutting you off. I was just saying. I just thought I thought he was gonna have a list of like, we're gonna tour with these people from here and here. I thought. Go ahead.
No, all I'm saying is like I don't really like think like that when I dream, like, you know, because I think that what you see a lot of times as what's possible or what could be expected or what could be projected. A lot of times the universe doesn't work like that. A lot of times the universe has something better for you, but it doesn't.
Damn, man, what
it
kind of
doesn't
shrooms
look
y'all
like
taking on that side, man?
What'd you say?
I said,
what kind of shrooms y'all taking?
Hey man, you know.
Hey, you guys are, yeah, man.
Mycelium, man, fungus. It's all conscious, man. That's
yeah.
Like you were asking, where did the consciousness come from? And it's like straight up, man. It's inherent in the world, the nature of reality. But everybody's so quick to look for it in the external, forgetting that it exists in the internal, which is basically what all the major ascended masters and like at the core of the world religions and stuff, they're all saying the same thing. Science is saying the same thing. Study of the quantum level, study of the inner earth, which is comprised of mycelium. What is mycelium? Mycelium is psilocybin mushrooms, in addition to every type of mushroom. Like, you know, so I just say all that to say, when you're walking about your life, there's an infinite amount of possibilities that you can manifest or attract. And the thing that defines that is your perception and your own ability to perceive like what's possible, you know. But if you define that too clearly by fixating on one possibility that you're like, it has to be this or I don't want it. You know what I'm saying? Or I'm not, and you might be looking at this one thing right here, but then there's all this other stuff that's trying that's way bigger than the idea that you had for yourself.
I feel you, man.
You know what
I
I'm
feel
saying?
that's like blocking your blessings, man.
You're like blocking your own blessings because you can't see them because you're like, man, I wanted it to look like this. I wanted it to sound like that. I thought we were going to go on tour with this person. And it's like, you know what I'm saying? I don't care if it's Anderson .Paak, Snoop Dogg, Robert Glasper, Jacob Collier, Maroon 5, you know what I'm saying? Justin Timberlake. I don't really care if it's Red Hot Chili Peppers or, you know, Erykah Badu, you know, DJ Madlib. Like, I don't care. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just know that when it comes down to it, our mission and our message is to spread the good vibes and is to bring, like Drew was saying earlier, an experience through artistic output, through artistic voice, through a conceptual idea and belief that, you know, love is a power that has the ability to transform the world and bring people together. And that's like really what we put in the core of our music and at the center of what we do, whether we're talking about a universal love of like feeling better about your life or connecting with other people, or whether we're talking about love at the club or love with an intimate partner. It's all love, you know what I'm saying? That's the direction that
you guys are relevant as fuck right now. With the climate of the world and the message y'all bring in, man, it's not y'all singing about it. It's like, it sounds like y'all live it. You know what I mean? Even the way you describe things and stuff like that. And I almost feel like when you start putting yourself in a box like that, it's almost on a greed type of thinking, you know? Like, I just want this, you know what I mean? It's all to me, like that type of thing. But, man, what if, with a new listener, right? New fans or people that just come across you guys, what will be the first song that y'all want them to hear of yours?
I would say it's the next thing we're going to release, so it's not quite out yet.
That's the business move, right?
No, I'm not. I'm trying not to cheat or just promo, but like we have this song coming out, Hold Steady. We were trying to get it out before this show, but I don't think that's necessarily going to be feasible at this point, but it's not impossible. Anyway, it'll either be before
with what you just said, man. It feels like, you know, rather than say what that, it's like, dude, we want everybody to check out Purpose, because that's going to be on CW.
If I was going to say check
March
out this
28th
song
at 7:00 p.m. Central Time. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, okay, yeah. If someone was going to listen to a song currently available right now,
yes, that's the question.
That's the question. You said Purpose?
Yeah, because on March 28th at 7 p.m. on the CW network, when you tune in, you can see an episode about the one of the main characters discovers an artist named Tony Wild, who is a fictitious artist in the show that creates a song that has to do with Purpose, our song Purpose. So what's going to be featured and talked about, and it's, you know, the artist in the show is made up, but it's a real song, and you can get it right now with Prob Cause, who is somebody who Drew's been talking about, and you know, so like, I think if you had to go check out any song right now, check out Purpose, and it came out a couple years ago. So if you like that, keep going down the lane. Like, check out the thing this came out after that. Like, there was a couple other singles that came out, and then we put out a whole record called Celebrate. So just, you know, maybe start at Purpose and follow the lineage to the future there.
Yeah, I mean, I should just agree with that. I literally had to like look at a list of our songs to be like, what would I say? I like went way too in my head on that. I really liked that question, so I went way in my head. That's like that was the correct answer.
Right.
I'm gonna say this also is kind of
you can give the fun answer.
Well, this is also kind of pluggy too, because it's one of our other big TV placements also on the All American show. But Toothbrush is just like I think it's a really good representation of our sound. It's not our like deepest lyrics, but it is very, I think, accessible and really fun. So yeah, like that is the fun answer. And it's also got us singing on it. Purpose is a collab where we have Prob Cause. So you're gonna, if you want to, so Purpose is like a dope hip hop collab, which with, you know, your people, that might be a good place for them to start. And then if you want to get the real, like, what we do 9 out of 10 songs,
I want that one.
Toothbrush. Yeah. So
that's cool too.
There you go.
So what about the funnest song to perform? How about that one?
I've always really liked playing Appetite. A song of ours called Appetite. We have a little video for that one. I've always had a lot of fun playing that. I remember listening back to it recently, like, because we have a big batch of new songs done. And I was like listening to that, and I listened back to the first album, and I would have for a long time thought that like Appetite was definitely my favorite. I listened back and I was like, this wasn't as hot as I thought it was. But performing it, really, I really tap into it.
It's still pretty hot, man. Don't let him fool you.
It's dope. I ain't trying.
Drew's like a super tough critic on himself, and once he makes something, then he can never really like that thing. He always has to like make the next thing. Like that's always going to be the cool thing.
I get like that too, though.
I get it. No, I get it. But like, I totally get it. But that Celebrate record is fire too. You know,
absolutely.
That's our baby. We made this. So
that's something that I'll always be proud of, and that's like he was alluding to it. It's like when that's my benchmark for when I'm, you know, producing and co-producing and engineering and mixing and mastering this stuff, our own stuff. And I mean, I have that goal with anybody kind of, but when I'm like all these artists that I work with outside the Belief Cycle, you know, it's on their vision where it ends up. But what I was trying to say is I just trying to get it to a point where it's like, I know in 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, I'm going to listen back and I'm going to be proud, like super proud of this. Not only proud of it, but like agree with the choices I made. Because talking about like our band from years ago earlier, it's like I can listen to that stuff and I can really appreciate the songs and the experience around it. But I'm like, yeah, this doesn't sound like straight pro like my shit does now, you know, and I can, it's too easy for me to poke holes in. So I just like wanted to make that Celebrate album and everything we worked on since like something that I feel like I'm just listening to as a fan and not like trying to poke holes in it, which is obvious if you haven't picked up in my vibe in this conversation. It's like when it comes to myself and unfortunately like collaborating with myself, it's like I'm kind of a hole poker. I'm trying to break the thing, and that's how.
But sometimes you're trying to fix stuff that ain't broke. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Don't fix it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
that's the philosophy I come from. So I think that's where we have a good, you know, balance. Because sometimes I'm like, yo, dude, stop picking at that scab. That's why it keeps bleeding. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. We have a very yin yang.
I see it.
A very yin yang type relationship where we very much like we kind of, so we're in tune in like many important ways, but we're also like very polarized in important ways. And sometimes you know, that's where like earlier before I joined, but I was listening, he was talking about like resolving tension and stuff like and how we've gotten good at that, and that comes from sometimes like the polarization, but also, you know, like polarization is what, you know, creates magnetism. And so it's like, and it's like everything, we complement each other's strengths, where it's just like I don't even want to say weak and strong, but where one of us is more developed, one of us is less developed, and where one of us is less developed, the other one is more developed, and we've like specialized. We like worked together a ton, and then we went like our own ways for a while, and we specialized in different areas, and then like our specializations kind of like slotted into each other as far as, you know, like the holes in what I had going for me and what he had. And, so we have a lot of like, you know, he's kind of the lightness to my darkness, kind of. He's more, well, I was, see, the reason that I acted surprised when you asked about who do you see yourself touring with or something, and when he didn't give like an immediate answer, I was just surprised because I'm like the real down to earth, he's the head in the clouds. Like I would have imagined that Ryan would have been thinking exactly about like, you know, like envisioning.
If you listen to if you go back and listen to the delivery of what I said, I did say what I did
eventually name names, but I was just like,
did it in my own special way.
I just thought he might be like, I was dreaming about this last night, and I was dreaming about this, and I envisioned us doing this and whatever, you know, where it's like, but it's just good because like I'm sometimes a little too grounded, and he's like a big vision person, so he might have this big vision, and I'm like, I see like us, we could practically like make like meet here and make this great thing happen, you know, like, and I'm not trying to pull him down. It's just like I'm really
can't pull me down, bro.
Logic based, and he's I mean, I'm the vibe killer of the equation. I mean, that's hopefully not the way it actually comes out, but like,
I wouldn't say that, you know.
I'm
you're comparing notes, man. That's all it is.
On like the two-faced coin, I'm like the burnt up, scratched up side, and he's like he's the normal heads.
Like,
Your Batman is showing, bro.
Yeah, he's
like a Batman
right now.
Dude. He's probably got Batman boxer briefs on right now.
Don't, unfortunately.
Hey, so what are some projects you guys are working on currently, or you know what I mean, individually or even together, man? That people should be
Well,
keeping an eye
let's.
out for.
I think we talked a lot about together what we've been doing. Why don't you give him the? You've been doing more stuff individually. Say some stuff. I'll say some stuff.
Sure. I mean, I'm producing a bunch of records right now. I think if I had to count, it's around 9 or 10 different projects.
Wow.
And I've been growing a lot myself as a artist and as a vocalist, as a rapper, and really just like producing collaborative records with Missouri talent. You know, St.
Mm,
Louis, obviously primary because of proximity, but we've been doing stuff with Jeff and Bob, Matt.
mm.
We've been
Dope,
calling
dope.
ourselves kind of like Woodland or Woodland Crew or Woodland
Mm,
something. We haven't quite figured it out, but
Pretty crispy.
we kind of got some momentum going in KC. So I've just been I'm making a solo piano record. I'm making like some more hip hop kind of collaborative flavored stuff that I've actually been working on with Drew at Feel Good Music Records. I'm working on a record with this dude Owen Ragland, who's a big time keyboard player and producer here in St. Louis and now lives in New
mm,
York. And so I just I've been wearing the production hat a lot more. I got a call yesterday from a well-known vocalist in town who wants me to, help her out with her producing her record and providing material. You know what I'm saying? Like I kind of been focusing on just branching out and rather than always trying to be the focal point, like necessarily like the artist. It's like
mm.
I'm just gonna be on everybody's record, whether I'm on the front cover of the picture or on the back liner as the producer, writer, you know,
I feel you,
instrumental.
man.
Like I'm coming from it on all angles. Like I'm
Hmm.
literally I'm on all systems go. I don't sleep. I don't take breaks. I just make records.
You know, that's
Yeah,
kind of why I started the podcast thing too, man. I'm just like, man, I don't want to be in the rat race, like artist rat race, man. I just want to do what I love, man. Like, let me help the homies get their shine on, man. You know,
That's right.
and that's it, man. But what's up with you, Drew? What
I
you
mean,
working on,
well,
man?
I mean, outside of the belief cycle, I'm out here getting after the bag, you know.
I
But
feel you.
with things that I love doing, and that's really like I'm just grateful to have after all these years of hustle, I'm really in a spot where I'm like the belief cycle. That's like my personal. That's where I go for something that's mine and ours, and is completely based on artistry. It's like it's dope that we've had some success like syncing songs, and we definitely want to do a bunch more of that. But that was an accident. That was a happy accident of us making songs that just artistically vibe with what we like, with our taste. So when it comes to doing something that's 100% to taste, that's where the belief style comes in. And then, you know, I'm I have my studio in St. Louis, Feel Good Music Recordings, where I'm engineering and producing for some local talent. I actually am doing a lot of mixing and producing for artists in Chicago and LA and
Mm,
Texas, and and then I'm actually out here doing live sound. I I do live sound front of house at a couple venues in town now. I do gigs playing guitar, bass, vocals, like cover bands, whatever. So I'm like, if I enjoy it and I can make some money at it, let's go. I'm trying to
hell yeah.
really. And I've always been, like we've both been, through any means necessary, professional musicians for, you know, most of the time, the better part of the past 15 years. And
Yeah,
for me, it's been, a combination of being a musician and having the studio skills. Uh,
for sure.
and, but I've always been a big believer in the intersection of music and commerce. So, like, I've never been worried about selling out or something. I'm like, or whatever. If selling out's a thing, I've been trying to do it this whole time. And I guess I have, because the bills are paid. So that's like, I'm finding that balance, like, between full on like artistic freedom and, getting that money. So that's really like my focus right now.
Man, that's super necessary, man. I'm looking forward to tapping in with both of y'all, man. Ryan, I might need some keys here pretty soon, Ryan.
Hey, man, shoot them my way, man. Let's go.
Hell yeah, and Drew, man, when I'm out in St. Louis, man, I might need to tap in, man. We can go do a vlog over there or something, man.
Tap in.
Yeah, man. So y'all got any closing thoughts, man? Any final thoughts of just whatever, man?
March 31st is going to be fun as hell. It's going to be a fun show. It's going to be a
that
fun
lineup
hang.
is insane, man.
Yeah, it's cool.
It is.
It's really
it's going to be all family, man. It's like we've already outlined. Everybody has got roots together, and it's going to be like a family reunion. It's going to also be like a rebirth. Of a lot of energy, of new energy. I know Jeff. I remember being in middle school with Jeffrey and like Matt and Bob, and we'd be like hanging out in Miss Nelson's class, like beating on the table, like trying to do freestyles and getting in trouble, getting kicked out of class.
Yeah.
And being like, yo, one day when we grow up, like we're gonna be a for real band, and we're gonna have hits, and we're gonna be on TV and radio and all this, all this stuff that you dream about when you're a kid. Yeah. And then it's like to be able to come full circle with my middle school like crew, like my family, and then now like come with my college family, like literally people who were like so important are so important to me, in the history of who I am as a person as well as a musician. And it's like to be able to have those worlds collide in my hometown, you know what I'm saying? Like that's special.
Oh, it's gonna be beautiful.
Magic to me.
So, is this Drew's first time meeting Matt and Bob and Jeff?
I have not actually met Matt and Bob. Jeff, I've known for a long time. We actually both moved to Chicago at about the same time.
Okay.
And
Matt was out there
too. We did some sessions up there at the studio I was working at in Chicago back in the day. So yeah, but Matt and Bob, I'm familiar, but this will be like my first time hanging with them, so that's really dope.
That's gonna be super dope. I think I see a lot of commonalities between you and Matt, man. Just being an engineer and artist.
Yeah,
man.
totally. Yep.
I'm hearing a lot of the same stuff, and I feel really relieved on his behalf. Cause like you're not alone, Matt.
Yeah,
I know he struggles with that sometimes. He's like, man, dude, I want to do my stuff, man. I'm always working on somebody else's project. I feel it, man.
Matt Phoenix is the shit, man. His stuff is so good. Like, I really love his vocal production, and his songwriting, man, is really cool too. Like that "Not a Robot" song. I don't know if you guys.
Oh yeah, it's super. He did one called "Time Goes On." That was. You heard that joint?
Yeah.
Oh man.
Every now and again, I get to listen to the crate. You know what I'm saying? He'll be like, "Yo, man, check out this thing I'm working on," or like, maybe somebody else in the crew, maybe Bob might be like, "Yo, dude, you got to hear this thing Matt made, man. It's like crazy good." And I'll put it on. I'll be like, "Damn!" I was like, "Is it out yet?" They're like, "No, it's not out yet." I'm like. You gotta put this out like today.
Yeah, he kills me with that stuff, man. But I'm looking forward to meeting you guys in person, man.
Absolutely.
And I'm so glad you guys took the time out to. You guys are actually my first guest. Like, I just got my podcast room set up.
Cool. This is great.
Right. Yeah, I wanted to get you guys here personally, but the schedule and all that. But I'm glad you guys can hop on via StreamYard, man. And shoot, man, I can help you guys set this up too. It's really easy, but man, StreamYard is where it's at. I've been paying like $20 a month or something like that.
Yeah,
that's
it's
cool.
Super
man.
Dope to do stuff like this, man. So yeah, man, people should definitely be able to check out you guys' creative process too, man. Just live and you guys are dope, man. I would love to see that too, man.
Yeah, I gotta get some cameras in the studio and
make that happen, man.
Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah.
Hey, but are you guys coming the day before the show or the day of the show?
Maybe.
Day of.
Day
Probably
of?
the
Okay,
day
okay.
of, because I have a feeling I'm gonna have a rehearsal. I got a show on the 1st here in St. Louis with
Okay.
Lola Christine, who lives in LA, and she, you know, we probably will have to rehearse that night before, drive to KC, drive back. So
I might see if I can get out there early, because I like 2 nights before we play, Greaves is playing, like a homie of mine from Seattle.
Oh, dang.
So I wanted to see if I could get there and maybe catch up with him and have the extra day. So we'll see. That'd be kind of dope. It's kind of far fetched. I'm probably on the same schedule as him, but I'll try to.
Do that.
Yeah.
Just extra gas, $5 a gallon.
I do appreciate y'all though, man.
Absolutely.
Yeah, thank you so much for having us.
Yeah, I'm gonna whip the camera out, man, when I pull up on y'all at the event, man. So yeah,
please.
Are y'all gonna be in the matching shiny sheets?
Yes. Well, we got so for the new set of songs leading up to the new record, we've got the next matching outfit.
Nice.
So we're gonna debut, right? We should debut the new outfit, right?
Yeah, we're gonna be looking slick. Like wearing matching jackets, that's kind of our thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we got
please keep doing that. That is so dope.
Yeah. So we got the new era that you'll get to see, the next generation of matching outfit.
Hell yeah. Well, shit, man. Peace out, y'all. Appreciate y'all. Take care, man. And see y'all in a few weeks, man.
Absolutely.
All right,
super excited.
Man. Peace,
love,
man.
brother.